Friends, welcome to my hospital at Ranaghat, West Bengal, India. This is a mature cataract with small pupil. I have taken up this case for surgery. Let us observe the surgical steps. This is the main incision with a 2.8 mm steel keratome. The incision is on the posterior aspect of the limbus. This is a paracentesis on the left side of the main incision, about 2.5 clock hours away. And now I want to stain the anterior capsule with trypan blue dye underneath this air bubble. And here goes the trypan blue 0.06% dye. Now I am going to inject a bit of adrenaline to see if the pupil dilates a bit by use of intracameral adrenaline. This is the adrenaline, preservative free, but you can see that the adrenaline didn't have any effect on the size of the pupil. The pupil didn't budge, it remained the same size. And now I wash the dye and inject viscoelastic substance. Here goes 2% SPMC. In this case, I have decided to use a B-HEX pupil expander, and here is the B-HEX pupil expansion device. It is being applied with the help of a B-HEX forceps. And now you can see that the device, the trailing flange of the device is in the main incision. It is stuck in the main incision. If it happens, we cannot tuck the leading flange at on-go. We have to release this flange from the main incision, and now we can tuck the flange at 5 o'clock or 5:30 o'clock in this way. It's very easy with this forceps, B-HEX 23G forceps. Go through the left side port, hold this flange which is at around 10 o'clock and tuck it. In this case I have made only one side port, and let me see if I can tuck the flange at 1 o'clock going through the main incision. Injected some Visco, go through the main incision, hold the middle tab of the flange, and I could tuck it very easily. So it is possible to apply B-HEX forceps just by two incisions, one main incision and one side port. Now I incise the anterior capsule, make a capsular tag, hold this tag with your teta forceps, go very close to the margin of the pupil, margin of the hexagonal pupil, and do this rhexis. The size of the pupil is about 5.5 mm, so the rhexis should go very close to the pupillary margin. Now hydrodissection, 27 gauge cannula and BSS. Little bit of BSS is injected, the nucleus is tapped, and then the nucleus is rotated. Some more Visco is injected into the anterior chamber, and now is the time to introduce the tip of the Phaco handpiece. This is Oatley Cataracts 3 Phaco machine. Bevel down, remove some superficial cortex, turn the tip and make the bevel off. And now what I do is I just push the nucleus little down, bury the tip just in front of the main incision into the substance of the nucleus, go for a distance and then chop it. I call it submarine chop. And now the nucleus is rotated and it is chopped at another place. You can see that this nucleus is brittle and it is getting chopped into fragments very easily. This is the other heminucleus. It is also being chopped into fragments. In this case, each heminucleus has been divided into 3 pieces. Now each nuclear piece is worked on with ultrasonic energy. Ultrasonic energy used in this case is 70%. Flow rate is 45 ml per minute. Vacuum is 450 millimeter of mercury. And now see, you have to tilt the nucleus like this and start emulsifying each nuclear piece from the apex. It may not be significant, but this is a safe technique if the nucleus is very hard, brown and having sharp pointed end of a triangular piece. This triangular piece may cause posterior capsular rend just by piercing through the posterior capsule, but this may not. This appears quite soft and the pieces are not so hard. However, it is a good practice to start emulsifying from the apex like this. Start emulsifying from the apex. This is the last portion of the nucleus and this is the epinucleus. At this time I have removed the chopper. I can see that the posterior capsule has gone far behind. The antechamber is more stable. Followability of the last piece is good towards the tip of the Phaco handpiece and it is removed. There is very minimal cortical matter in this case. Inject a bit of viscoelastic substance. Take a 23 gauge Simcoe cannula and remove the cortical matter. We can use bimanual irrigation aspiration also for removal of cortical matter, but in this case I had only one side port, so I am using this beautiful instrument 23 gauge Simcoe cannula. It is very safe and you can vary the vacuum very quickly. Here reaction time is much more controlled. And now this is 2% SPMC. This is the time to implant an intraocular lens, and here goes a hydrophobic acrylic single piece monofocal intraocular lens, yellow tinged. The leading haptic has gone into the bag and the trailing haptic is taken into the clear area and then it is placed in the capsular bag. The trailing haptic should not press on the flange which is in front of the main incision. Once it so happened in my hands that the flange which is above the iris just got dislodged. And now this is how you remove the B-HEX. Untuck all the flanges, bring it in the antechamber, hold the portion just in front of the main incision any point and pull it out. There is no need of any injector. This is a beautiful device and it is very much affordable. And now this is how you remove the Visco from the capsular bag. Go behind the IOL and irrigate the capsular bag. Don't think this can cause posterior capsular rupture. It never does. Now the side port is hydrated, and this is the final lavage of the anterior chamber. The anterior chamber is formed nicely, and the case is concluded. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this video will help you in developing your surgical skills. Be a great surgeon and serve the mankind with compassion and great skills.